Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the gymnasium here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. We're so happy to begin our coverage of this 2023-2024 winter sports season with live coverage here in the gym tonight of your varsity boys basketball team. And tonight, the Scarlet Hawks welcome in one of their rivals from the Kelly Rex division in the Attleboro Bombardiers. Just moments away from getting this matchup underway. The Scarlet Hawks come in with a record of 1-0 off of a thrilling victory in their season debut here at home against Foxborough earlier this week. Attleboro comes in at 0-1, and with that, varsity basketball action underway just before 7 o'clock here in the Milford gym. The Hawks control the opening tip. We'll delve into a lot of the information to set the scene for this current season for the Scarlet Hawks. A lot of continuity on this varsity roster, including the player that just scored the opening points of the game, junior Andrew Rivera, who's already logged a lot of miles on this court in his varsity career, just now touching off his junior campaign here with this boys varsity basketball team. A varsity player since day one as a freshman. Comes in as one of the more seasoned veterans in all of the Hockomock League. Ends up missing the free throw after getting the bucket. Your starting fives for this game tonight. First for the visiting Attleboro Bombardiers, it is Dante Monesteem, Connor Houle, Hayden Crowley, Emmett Hill, and LaDanian Rodriguez. It is Monesteem at the free throw line right now. He makes his first after the foul was called on Luca Testa. Monesteem goes 2 for 2 from the line to even up this early score, still in the opening minute of the opening quarter. CJ Farrell getting pestered at midcourt, gets the pass away. We'll get the Milford starting five in just a moment, as this time Milford is victimized by the turnover. Testa coughs it up, and now Quick Hands trying to get it right back. Pass into the corner to Connor Houle. Back out around the perimeter, Tyler Ballard out there in defense. Now to the corner, trying to get around Rivera. It's back outside to Houle with the shot clock now under 10. A runner to the basket is off target, and the ball is swatted out of bounds. It will stay with Attleboro with now a fresh shot clock. Houle, a quick inbounds pass rejected at the rim by Rivera, and Milford comes away with the loose ball. It's tracked down by the senior captain, Jake Soares. So very quickly, let's get in that official starting five for Milford. You've already heard me call most of them out on the floor as Milford gives the ball away yet again. Soares, and now Testa able to save it. Pass away to Ballard, and just a breakneck pace here in these opening 2 minutes. Rivera pass into the corner. Farrell open for three, rims out. And the rebound is pulled down again by Monesteem. Houle now with the jump shot, that's off target. And Rivera pulls down the defensive rebound. So it is CJ Farrell, Andrew Rivera, Tyler Ballard, Jake Soares, and Luca Testa, the five on the floor to get this one started for Milford. Bounce pass under the basket is off target to Ballard, and it goes out of play. 6:04 to go in this first quarter. Only 2 points apiece, but plenty of up and down action here to get us started. Long pass up ahead to a wide open LaDanian Rodriguez, who has no problem dropping that one in to give the Bombardiers a lead. And again, plenty of ball pressure being put on by Rodriguez. Pass behind the back, makes it to Ballard. And now Farrell, sporting a new uniform number for this new season, gives the pass ahead. It's swatted out of play by Hayden Crowley. An active defense on both sides of the floor right now, which was exactly what we saw the last time these two teams played late last season. And Milford comes away without a shot. They give the ball away again. A lot of turnovers in these early minutes, and it's Monasteem who gets the bucket, and it's a 6-2 lead to pace the night for the Bombardiers, playing with plenty of energy. Pressuring all the way here on defense. Rivera, a decent looking shot that goes halfway down, rims out. Ball out of play, possession going to Attleboro. So the Bombardiers building a little bit of momentum here to start this first quarter. Lost what ended up being a close game to the Mansfield Hornets in their season debut a couple of nights ago. In that game, they ended up falling behind early and then fought their way back in. About a mirror image of what the fans saw here in the Milford gym between the Hawks and the Foxborough Warriors back on Tuesday night of this week. The ball knocked out of play again, and it's been quite a while since Milford's been able to get a decent look on the offensive side of the floor. Trying to adjust to this very physical Attleboro defense. A lot of new faces on this Bombardiers varsity roster, but showing plenty of athleticism. Pass floated out onto the wing, back in the hands of Monasteem, who's been heavily featured so far through these early minutes. Now it's Houle. He loses control of the ball. Testa watches it go out of play. And it looks like it will stay with the Bombardiers. 14 seconds on the shot clock. A 6-2 score. Now 10 seconds on the shot clock. Coming down to 4 minutes to play in the quarter. Fadeaway shot is off target. Ball loose on the floor, picked up eventually by Rivera. Pushes up ahead to Soares. Soares will try to get Milford set as Connor Houle stays close. It's Farrell. That ball looked to be tipped on the way up, but nice job tracking the play by Tyler Ballard. He gets the rebound and the putback. His first points of the game. Back to within 2. Breaks up a scoreless drought for Milford. Now good defense for Ballard down the other end, but Attleboro able to stay with it. That's LaDanian Rodriguez with a contested bucket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. And we'll see our first substitution for first-year head coach Dana Olson. Sounds a little strange to say first-year head coach when you're talking about either Dale or Dana Olson with so much experience coaching in general, but the first year at the helm of this varsity boys basketball program, a new beginning for this program under Coach Olson. He deploys Ryan Franklin as the free throw is made by Rodriguez, who has 5 points in this first quarter. 9-4 the lead for Attleboro, and once again forcing the turnover at midcourt, and a hack the other way for Farrell. He's going to take the foul. It's Tyler Ballard getting a rest on the sidelines right now, replaced by Franklin. Franklin played a key role off the bench in that win against Foxborough earlier this week, as did a newcomer to this varsity roster, Tyvon Robinson, wearing number 0. We haven't seen Robinson out on the floor just yet. And a pair of free throw misses keeps the score at 9-4. They wave off the shot as Milford gets fouled on the floor. 3 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the first quarter. We want to quickly welcome in all of our viewers coming to you live on this Friday night locally on our Milford TV educational channel, and also streaming the action live on our YouTube page as CJ Farrell buries a three-pointer for his first points of the game, and back down once again to a 2-point margin as we dip under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. We've got a lively group checking out our action tonight on our YouTube channel. And as always, happy to have fans of all teams represented. We have a feeling there's a fair amount of Attleboro fans in the viewing audience on YouTube tonight, so happy to have you there. Back to the free throw line for LaDainian Rodriguez. Some free throw misses here of late for Attleboro. This is already the 7th free throw attempt for Attleboro in this first quarter. Rodriguez personally 2 out of 3 from the line. And a 10-7 lead for the Bombardiers. Rivera able to get free. Now a pass into Franklin, and he puts it up for 2. Single point differential on the scoreboard. As Attleboro will try their luck from 3. A nice looking shot for Emmett Hill. He comes in off the bench and drops in the 3. Now defending against Rivera, he gets sandwiched in. That ball somehow makes its way to Luca Testa, tries to elevate to the rim, doesn't make it there, but gets fouled on the way up. Testa also in his 3rd year on this varsity roster in his junior season. This is a Milford team that 2 seasons ago won just 2 games with a very young, very inexperienced roster. They made some huge strides last season, went from a 2-win team to a 500 team, made it into the playoffs. As Testa ends up missing both free throw attempts. Milford 0 for 3 from the line so far tonight. Coach Olson ready to deploy Tyvon Robinson in place of Testa, but not quite, as now we have some business to attend to on the other side of the floor as we see once again LaDainian Rodriguez at the line. As I was just mentioning, part of what has helped this team continue to build after some lean years is the continuity they've had on this roster, a chance for young players to develop into experienced, reliable varsity options, and that's exactly what has happened. Andrew Rivera has continued to elevate himself as one of the top players in the league. Testa has continued to grow and improve each season. A lot of these other players have been around for almost as long. Nick Arujo, a veteran presence on this roster. One of the captains, Jake Soares, is also a multi-year varsity player. So what was once a very young and experienced roster has now become one of the more experienced rosters in the league. But right now, offense coming at a premium for the Hawks. They're able to preserve this possession. They get the ball around to an open C.J. Farrell. He can't make the shot this time. Milford with just 4 made baskets in this first quarter, which is less than 90 seconds to go. Monesty, meanwhile, continues his hot start. He's up to 6 first quarter points. It's up to a 7-point Attleboro lead now as we get another foul, this one against the Bombardiers. And substitutions now coming in on both sides as we see Jason Stokes come onto the floor for Milford. Tyrone Owusu-Mensah also checking into the game on the Attleboro side. Isaiah Outland also into the game now off the bench for Attleboro. Just 60 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Good pass down low to Franklin, but it's rejected on the way up. Nicely done by Emmett Hill. Hill listed at 6'3", but also a good long reach. Ball stays with Milford. Robinson now into the game, trying to secure that ball, dribbles back outside the perimeter, and now gets it back in the hands of Rivera. Tries to muscle his way around a defender, sends the ball up, it doesn't go, but a foul comes in. And a conversation now between the officials and Coach Olson as Andrew Rivera waits to shoot free throws. Foul called on Isaiah Outland, who now has 2 fouls. And there is the first successful free throw of the night for the Scarlet Hawks. Solid trip to the line that time for Milford. 5-point margin. About a 6-second difference between shot clock and game clock. A 35-second shot clock. It feels like the high school shot clock keeps getting longer. Ball up for grabs. Franklin has it. 20 seconds left for Milford in the quarter. They waste no time. Up ahead to Robinson, and that ball rolls in. Lead down to 3, final 10 seconds of the quarter. The jungle chanting out defense as Milford makes the good defensive play, and that will bring the first quarter to an end. An Attleboro player a little bit shaken up there in a collision right at the buzzer. That is Rodriguez, who had a nice performance in this first quarter and looks to be okay as he heads back now to the Attleboro sideline. So the first quarter comes to a close. Milford able to get a couple of late buckets to pull it to within 3. It's a 16-13 lead for the Attleboro Bombardiers. We'll take a quick pause here on the broadcast. We'll have the second quarter for you in just a moment here on Milford TV. Starting second quarter action here in the Milford gym, a 3-point lead for the visiting Attleboro Bombardiers. Milford TV Executive Director Tim Coet here with you on the call on this Friday night, bringing you our first basketball action of the season. And Connor Houle brings you the first basket of this second quarter. Jason Stokes comes flying in, sends the pass back outside. Rivera with a push. The Attleboro bench screaming for a whistle, none come. And Rivera ends up with the 3. Seven points now in the half for Rivera. Pass looped into the hands of Hayden Crowley. He's the only returning starter on this roster from a season ago. know that this is a relatively inexperienced varsity roster based on how they've played so far in this first half. Looking very good, especially on defense. There's Tyler Ballard again with another rebound and putback. That's the second time we've seen that out of Ballard in this half, and it ties the score up at 18. Now active hands for Robinson. Nearly pulls off the steal, but Dante Monestine able to recover. Now the three from the corner for Houle. Five points for Houle in the second quarter. Fadeaway shot rolling around, doesn't go in that time for Milford. Ballard couldn't quite pull down the offensive board. Now Attleboro comes the other way. Bombardiers leading it by 3. Emmett Hill left all alone for another look from three-point range. This time he couldn't knock it down. Farrell, meanwhile, absorbs some contact on the way up for that shot. It does not land. Milford trying to stay with it. Now the pass outside to a wide-open Rivera and sends that shot off back iron. And not the cleanest on offense through this first half for the Scarlet Hawks. This was a little bit of what we saw when these teams played late last season. It was a game that had some good offense early. The defenses really clamped down as the game went along, and then game ended with both teams well under 50 points. Milford with a 1-point margin of victory as Houle takes that ball all the way in for 2 more, and so he has scored 7 points. He has scored all 7 points that Attleboro has so far in the second quarter. Rivera gets a rest on the sideline here as Soares comes back from the sideline, and we get our first look at Milford's other captain for this season, Nick Araujo. Here's Robinson, now loses the dribble and loses the possession as Hayden Crowley comes quickly up the floor. Team's getting locked up under the basket. Quick whistle for the jump ball. Possession arrow going Milford's way. Milford right now playing with Stokes, Jake Soares, Tyler Ballard, Luca Testa, and Nick Araujo, the 5 on the floor. Good passing there, leading to a look just inside the free throw line for Ballard. It's no good, but Milford able to keep the possession, and now they get the foul. Ballard at the free throw line. Milford now 2 for 7 from the free throw line in this half, so it's been a rough go offensively all the way around in this first half. But despite that, down by only 5. CJ Farrell now wandering over to the scorer's table, about to check back into this game. As Rodriguez drops in another bucket. 9 points now in the half for LaDanian Rodriguez. Milford a little bit wild going up to the basket. Attleboro the other way with speed. The ball will stay with the Bombardiers. As both coaches continue to rotate through their benches. Milford used 10 different players on the floor in their win against Foxborough. And according to Coach Olson, he could go even deeper than that once he has full health at his disposal. Right now, a couple of impact players sidelined due to illness and injury, including Gus Catino and Jack Buckley. There is Rodriguez again, and quickly this lead has escalated to 9 points. Active hands in the passing lane for Rodriguez, who has been just a matchup problem, plain and simple, for Milford in this first half. Rodriguez, just a sophomore, listed at 6'2", but he has been all over the floor in this first half, playing great defense, and is leading the offense right now with 11 points. A lot of familiar faces on this varsity boys basketball roster for Milford to what we saw in the fall sports season on the football team. Jack Buckley, CJ Farrell, Ish Kamara, Andrew Rivera, Nick Arujo, Jason Stokes, Thomas Souza, all playing key roles for the Scarlet Hawks football team that came so close to a spot in the Division III Super Bowl. Some unfortunate circumstances there in that final 4 round with Jack Buckley out of the mix due to injury after such a great season, taking over as the team's starting quarterback. And we know he makes an impact on the basketball court as well, so hoping he returns from illness soon to get back into the mix here for the winter season. Scarlet Hawks scored 67 points in their victory against Foxborough here in their home gym on Tuesday. Have not yet made it to the 20-point mark with a little over 2.5 minutes to go in this first half. Rivera guns that pass to the far wing for CJ Farrell, now works the baseline and just gets out-muscled under the basket by this Attleboro defense. In transition, Attleboro with an ill-advised pass that goes out of bounds. A 9-point Attleboro lead coming down to the final 2 minutes of the half. Rivera finding Farrell. He has nowhere to go. And down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. Farrell eventually releases the shot. It's no good. Nice tip down low to Testa. Now it's Ballard. And third time's a charm there for Milford as Ballard cleans things up. 6 points in the half now for Tyler Ballard. Attleboro leads 7. And exactly 90 seconds to go in the half. Attleboro off target on that shot. Now here's Rivera with speed up the floor, trying to Euro step. That shot doesn't fall, but another foul collected by Rivera. Call the foul on Hayden Crowley, one of the 2 captains on this Attleboro squad, along with number 12, Brady Irwin, who I don't believe we've seen on the floor so far this evening. Rivera makes the first free throw. He is now 3 of 4 from the line, with one more coming up here. And now quickly in transition, it's Houle up to the basket. And Houle with 9 points, all coming here in the second quarter. The Attleboro lead right back up to 8. Rivera surveys his options, calls his own number, and drills the 3. $11 points now in the first half for Rivera. A 5-point lead for the Bombardiers. As they try to save this ball in the corner, it goes out of play. It will be Attleboro ball. With the shot clock now turned off, 33.2 seconds remain in the half. Chance for Milford to try to pull themselves a little bit closer heading into the break. Rivera now in the corner for Testa. Testa guns the pass. Stokes able to pull it down. Now Testa fighting for it, but loses control, and now in the hands of Houle. 6 seconds left. Up ahead to Monesteem into the corner. The shot no good. And a couple of chances for Attleboro to put it back, but time expires. And so it will be a 29-24 lead for Attleboro heading into halftime. And so some signs of life there late for Milford, but looking to get a whole lot cleaner on offense. A lot of turnovers throughout this first half for Milford, really struggling with the speed and physicality of this Attleboro defense. So we'll see what adjustments Milford makes at halftime. We'll pause here on the broadcast, about 9.5 minutes on the halftime clock. So if you're joining us on the live coverage, just hang tight for the next few minutes, and we will resume with second half action in this varsity matchup between Milford and Attleboro. Again, a 29-24 lead for the Bombardiers. Back with more in just a few minutes here on Milford TV. Once again, we welcome you inside the Milford gym as second half action gets underway in this varsity boys basketball matchup between Milford and Attleboro. Tim Coed here with you on the call on this Friday night. A 29-24 lead for the Bombardiers as the second half begins. Milford able to cut it to a closer margin there in the closing seconds of the first half. Shot clock winding down as the shot goes up but not in for Dante Monesteem. Your leading scorers through the first half: Andrew Rivera for Milford with 11 points, LaDanian Rodriguez of Attleboro with 11 points. Here's Rivera floating a pass to the corner for Tyler Ballard. Now good elevation for Rivera to pull the ensuing pass back down. Rivera's first shot of the second half is off target. Ballard was your number 2 scorer for Milford in the first half with 6 points. C.J. Farrell had 3, and Ryan Franklin and Tyvon Robinson with 2 points apiece. Here's Soares going up to the basket. He knocks it down. That's Jake's first points of the game. Rounding out the scoring in the first half on the Attleboro side, Connor Houle had 9 points. All of them came in the second quarter. Dante Monesteem had 6 points, and Emmett Hill had 3. Jake Soares, meanwhile, looking to finish off a 3-point play. And so quickly down to a 2-point margin. It was a 16-13 score after the first quarter. Attleboro then outscored Milford 13-11 in the second period. Not seen this Milford offense really find a groove. See if it comes here in the third quarter. A near steal for Rivera. Attleboro able to save it, but they put a shot up that misses everything and goes right into the hands of Testa. Quick shot the other way for Milford is no good, then a lot of contact. Trying to go up and in was Rodriguez. Comes up empty. Now it's Soares out of the corner. Rivera from 3, in and out. The rebound knocked loose, eventually settled by Houle. And now it's Rivera the other way who picks off the pass. Now bounce pass ahead to Testa, who takes a whole lot of contact as he makes the shot. And that ties the score up at 29. The physicality has been up high ever since this game started. Two spirited Kelly Rex Division rivals. Ball comes loose back in the direction of LaDainian Rodriguez. Now steps up for a wide open look from 3. Ball ends up out of bounds. Milford will inbound. It is Testa, Farrell, Soares, Ballard, and Rivera, the starting 5 back out there at the outset of this second half. Here's Rivera again, tries to slice between a pair of defenders. And the ball ends up out of play, and looks like they'll say that Rivera took some contact up high. The foul goes on LaDainian Rodriguez. He now has 2. And a chance for Milford to take their first lead of the game. And they do with the first free throw knocked down by Rivera. Rivera now 5 of 7 from the free throw line. And he gives the Scarlet Hawks a 2-point lead, their first lead of the night. And now a pass to nowhere from Houle goes out of bounds. Farrell now trying to get away for a look at the rim. Shot does not fall. Farrell immediately pesters on defense. Good positioning for Soares, and now the ball swatted into the crowd by Farrell. .24 seconds on the shot clock. 4:26 to go in the quarter as they inbound into the backcourt for Houle. And Houle gets fouled on the way up. And that'll go against C.J. Farrell. That is his 3rd foul. taking a look over to the bench. He will indeed come off here as Houle misses his first free throw attempt. Tyler Ballard will also come to the sideline. Jason Stokes and Ryan Franklin back out as Houle makes the second free throw. And it's a 1-point lead for Milford. Down low now to Franklin. Able to get to the rim, but the shot doesn't fall. Now Soares. Attleboro ends up drawing the charge. The foul will go on Jake Soares. And Houle favoring the back as he lobs the inbounds pass in. Connor Houle, a sophomore. We saw him off the bench for this Attleboro team when they came to town last season. No surprise to see a Houle on the varsity roster immediately as a freshman. Such a talented family, of course, with Mark Houle at the helm of this program, where he has been for a long time, one of the top coaches in the Hockomock League. A lot of wild play here. As now we get the foul called on Ryan Franklin. He now has 2 fouls. LaDanian Rodriguez at the free throw line. Three for 5 from the line so far tonight, with one more coming up. He goes 2 for 2 to swing the lead back in Attleboro's favor, now 32-31. Tyvon Robinson checked into the game during those free throws. Franklin's shot does not have the elevation. And Attleboro looking to start to swing the momentum right back on their side, this time called for the travel. Right now, Coach Olson continuing to change up the personnel out on the floor. Now it's Ballard back out there with Franklin on the bench. Rivera finding Robinson, the ball halfway down and then rims out. Just bad luck. It's a well-executed play between Rivera and Tyvon Robinson. Clean lane to the basket for Hayden Crowley, but he can't finish. Scrum on the floor. Milford comes away with possession. And now Soares, no-look pass to Rivera. And count it for 3. Rivera's first points from the floor in the second half. Up to 16 points in the game. And a very easy response for Isaiah Outland, who was left completely unguarded on the perimeter. And the lead continues to seesaw back and forth through this third quarter. Now 35-34 Attleboro. Rivera again from 3, no good. Stokes with the rebound, and he gets fouled. What a season Jason Stokes had for the Scarlet Hawks football team. Just a tough slot receiver, made a lot of high degree of difficulty catches over the middle of the field. A lot of times contested catches. Showed great toughness, great quickness. Was part of this varsity team last season. Didn't see much action on the floor, but a different story now as a sophomore. Missed basket for the Bombardiers. It's a 1-point lead for Milford. There's Ballard with a circus shot under the rim and gets it to go. 8 points in the game now for Tyler Ballard. And a 3-point lead now for the Scarlet Hawks. Less than 90 seconds to go in the third quarter. And meanwhile, it's LaDanian Rodriguez. Missed the first time around, ended up with the rebound, and didn't miss on the second chance. Now Soares guns it back out to Rivera. He gets stripped. Now Rodriguez alone up ahead. Stokes able to track him down, but commits the foul. The Milford fans wanting a travel call. And meanwhile, Coach Olson upset about a non-call down at the other end of the floor. Free throw attempt to go for Rodriguez. And he ends up missing both, but Attleboro is able to track down the rebound. And now two bodies down behind the play. Milford with the numbers advantage if they can hurry up a shot. And it's Soares who's able to put it in. About a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock as we come down the final stretch of the third quarter. And there is Nick Arujo standing his ground under the basket. He draws the offensive foul. Arujo carried such a heavy workload during the football season, caught up to him a bit in those final weeks as he wasn't at 100%, still gritting it out in multiple phases of the game. And now ready to bring that same toughness to the basketball court here for his senior season. As we get misses on both ends of the floor. And another trip to the free throw line, this time for Isaiah Outland. As Luca Testa picks up his third foul. 5 team fouls for Milford, 4 for Attleboro. Outland goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and it's once again a 1-point game. Testa stays out there for these final 13 seconds with the 3 fouls. Rivera with the ball in his hands. He gives way to Soares in the corner, who knocks it down at the buzzer. A big shot for the senior captain, Jake Soares. Had 8 points in all, came alive in that third quarter, and that allows Milford to take a 43-39 lead heading into the final 8 minutes. We will take a quick timeout once again here on the broadcast. Fourth quarter comes your way when we come back on this coverage of Milford High School basketball here on Milford TV. The fourth quarter begins here in the Milford gym. The Jungle on their feet as they have been all night long. It's been a great crowd here in the Milford gym for this one. The stands pretty packed, especially on the home side. Milford with a lead to open up this fourth quarter, but immediately commit a turnover. And now Milford commits a foul on the other end of the floor. It's going to go against Soares. Soares' third foul. So a lot of players carrying 3 fouls into this fourth quarter. They reset the team fouls on the scoreboard heading into this fourth quarter. I don't know if that's another change, another rule change for this season as we get up to speed on this new winter sports season. This ball up and in from Dante Monesteem. He was held pointless in that third quarter after he was a big factor in the first half. Here's Farrell now from the corner. He has been quiet in the second half due to foul trouble, but back out there now to start the fourth. Good defense from Testa. Eventually the whistle comes. And it does go against Testa. That is his 4th foul. Milford fans not happy. It's Monesteem at the line. Coach Olson has to pull Testa to the sideline with 6:51 to go. Tyvon Robinson back out and pulls down the rebound off the free throw miss, so Monesteem goes 0 for 2 from the line. Allows Milford to hang on to the 2-point lead. Rivera's shot was off target. Robinson got his hands on the rebound and then ends up taking the foul. Foul called on Hayden Crowley, who picks up his 4th. Robinson a little overamped on those free throws, misses them both, but Rivera able to get his hands on the rebound, and now he will step to the line. The foul called on Emmett Hill. A make and a miss for Rivera. The lead for Milford is 3. Robinson back outside to Monesteem. His shot is short. Rodriguez in there for the rebound. Milford able to come away with it, only for Rodriguez to steal it right back. We pause for another whistle. The fouls coming in rapid fire here in the fourth quarter. They call it on Robinson. It's his 1st. Puts Rodriguez at the line. Rodriguez 6 of 10 from the free throw line. He's got one more to go. And drops it in. We go back down to a 1-point margin. We get a timeout called on the floor, and I do believe this is the first timeout that's been called in this game. Perhaps the second, but these coaches, for the most part, have let the players figure it out on the floor. So 46-45 lead for Milford with 6 minutes and 19 seconds to go. While we have a pause in the action, just to update you as we get things off and running for this winter sports season, we were in the gym earlier this week to record coverage of the Milford wrestling team in their match against the Franklin Panthers. We will have that match on the air as soon as possible. We don't have it ready to go quite yet. We have been inundated with holiday coverage out in the community in the last few weeks, but we will get that match turned over as quickly as possible, and we'll get it up on air, and we'll get it up on our YouTube page. And we'll have one more game to squeeze in before we shut things down for the holidays. We will be in the gym coming up on Wednesday next week, as the girls basketball team will be home taking on the Sharon Eagles. So we will have live coverage of the varsity girls team. That game coming up on December 20th, and that will be our last game until we come back for the new year. We will really ramp up our winter sports coverage in full force. A little over 6 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, a 1-point lead for Milford. Here's Rivera with the shot from the free throw line, no good. Robinson and Rodriguez get locked up for the jump ball. Possession arrow with Attleboro. So another opportunity for the Bombardiers to tie or take the lead. Ball knocked loose. Farrell with a full head of steam, and fortunately was able to avoid serious contact with Connor Houle, who was sprawled out right in the center circle. So Farrell now with 4 fouls. All alone under the basket, Emmett Hill. It's his first point since the first quarter, but it's good enough to give the Bombardiers now a 1-point lead. Milford led by 4 coming into this fourth quarter. But it's been an 8-3 run so far in the fourth for the Bombardiers. A lot of players in foul trouble for Milford. Luca Testa, it looks like, will return to the floor with 4 fouls. CJ Farrell also with 4. And instead we'll have another timeout. Clock right now paused with 5 minutes and 27 seconds to go. So as we quickly, while we have another pause in the action, take a look at how things have gotten started around the Hockomock League. It was just Milford and Franklin who were able to pick up victories in the Kelly Rex division as winter sports action opened up this week. North Attleboro and Taunton taking losses. Attleboro losing in their season opener. King Philip has yet to play a game. Guessing they are on the floor as we speak. On the Davenport side, season-opening victories for Canton, Mansfield, and Sharon. Their belt in the Hockomock League, with the exception of King Philip. Here's Testa now out of the timeout, puts up a three, it's no good. And the ball on the floor, bodies flying, and eventually the ball is calmly picked up by Jake Soares. Under the 5-minute mark. Soares had a big third quarter as that ball is tipped. Rougeau finds it, gets it back to Soares. Wild pass outside to Testa. Now it's Stokes with the ball in his hands. He passes out to Rivera. And meanwhile, the shot was waved off. A foul committed away from the play by Jason Stokes. And that ends the possession for Milford as they continue to trail by a point. A shot put up by Isaiah Outland is no good. A lot of Milford jerseys there under the basket. But the ball ended up getting tipped out of play by Attleboro. Here's Soares losing his balance, gets the pass to Testa. Stokes floats one up, no good. Rebound for Outland. And now Houle slowly dribbles back up the floor. Less than 4 minutes to play. CJ Farrell ready to check back into the game at the next whistle. Attleboro turning it over. So Farrell comes out, he replaces Luca Testa. Rivera now double teamed. Dangerous pass. Rivera able to save it. Now leaves the ball behind. It's picked up by Rodriguez. Now poked loose by Farrell. Goes out of play. Attleboro will retain possession, just 2 seconds off the shot clock. 3:24 to go in the game. Monesteem against Soares. Rivera selling out for the steal. Now Monesteem up with the shot, it's no good. Rodriguez with the rebound. Here's Houle. He floats it in, no good. And Rodriguez continues to battle away underneath the boards. He picks up the bucket and extends the Attleboro lead to 3 with now less than 3 minutes to go. Farrell looking for a quick response, but the shot doesn't fall. And Milford's offensive woes creeping back up here at the most inopportune of times. Attleboro with the ball and a 3-point lead. Milford needing a stop. And they get bailed out by an errant pass. Farrell with the inbounds pass to Soares. Jungle chanting, "Let's go Milford," as we dip under 2.5 minutes to play. Rougeau has the ball punched away, gets good positioning to save the loose ball in the backcourt. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Soares cuts to the basket, uses the glass, and gets 2. Jake Soares gets into double figures with 10 points, pulls it back to a 1-point margin on the scoreboard, and timeout taken with just 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. It's been a tough fourth quarter offensively here for Milford. They scored 19 points in the third quarter, but have scored just 5 so far here in the fourth. been a 10-3 quarter in Attleboro's favor. Soares and Rivera with the only 2 made buckets from the floor for Milford here in the fourth. "19 points on the night for Andrew Rivera. 19 points as well for LaDainian Rodriguez. Those two have been the standouts tonight. Attleboro to inbound. Milford with pressure in the backcourt. Rougeau flies in, commits the foul. So free throws here for the Bombardiers. It is Emmett Hill. It's just the first foul for Nick Rougeau. Hill's first trip to the free throw line tonight. And able to knock down both shots to give Attleboro a 3-point lead now with just over 2 minutes to go. Here's C.J. Farrell from 3. It's off target. The rebound punched out, but settled by Rodriguez. Now here's Houle, an easy jumper, and a 5-point lead now, which feels awfully big with just over 90 seconds to go. Here's Rivera with Milford in desperate need of a bucket, and they're just not coming here for Milford in the fourth. Down to 1:25 to go, and the comeback bid looking bleak right now for the Scarlet Hawks. Down to 1:13. Timeout taken by the Bombardiers. 1:13 left to play. The lead now up to 53-48 in favor of Attleboro. This was a head-to-head matchup that went heavily in Attleboro's favor for a long time. They had built up a 10-game winning streak against Milford that dated all the way back to the 2016 season. That finally came to an end with the second regular season meeting between these two teams last year. It happened in early February in a game that was a defensive grind similar to what we've seen tonight, a similar score to what we've seen tonight. But ultimately, Milford was able to do just enough, and they were able to hang on as Attleboro had the final shot in that game. Milford was able to hold on for a 44-43 win. Well, looking right now like Attleboro is going to get some revenge here tonight, barring a miracle comeback. 1:13 to go. Still some time, but Milford has really struggled offensively. It's been such an uneven game. Again, as we mentioned, 19 points in the third quarter. Looked like they had finally settled in. But it's been a real struggle here in the fourth with just 5 points generated. And now here's Modestine. He gets away from the defense, puts it in. And now Stokes looking for Farrell. But a whistle before the shot. And Coach Olson frustrated on the sideline. The lead for Attleboro is 7, with now just 53 seconds left. Some fans now starting to make their way towards the exit, with this game looking to be within Attleboro's grasp. So as we take a look at the schedule moving forward for Milford, they will be on the road coming up on Wednesday next week in Sharon, taking on the Eagles. They will come home on Friday night next week for a non-conference matchup with Hopkinton. And then some non-conference play here at home over the holidays. And assuming some holiday tournament action for the Scarlet Hawks, and then they will resume Hockomock League play on January 5th with a matchup on the road against North Attleboro. We'll have plenty of home coverage of this boys team once we get back to action in the new year. And as we mentioned, we'll have one last bit of coverage prior to the holidays with the girls basketball team at home against Sharon coming up on Wednesday. Back to action now, 53 seconds to go. Attleboro with the ball. The gym has gone quiet here with this big run for Attleboro to turn a 1-point lead into a comfortable 8-point margin. And so give credit to Attleboro. Suffered a frustrating loss against Mansfield earlier this week. Still a team that has a lot of new components here at the varsity level, but looking very confident all night long here tonight. Clock pause now with 37.9 seconds to go as Connor Houle steps up to the free throw line. CJ Farrell called for his 5th foul. The lead up to 9. As Stokes will inbound to Soares. Testa, Ballard, and Rivera filling out the 5 on the floor. Soares goes easy to the basket. Not enough of that in this 4th quarter. Just 7 points scored here for Milford. As timeout is taken, so a slow march to the finish line here in the 4th quarter. 33.4 seconds to go. For all of our Milford fans tuned into the coverage tonight, we just want to remind everyone that we've got a lot of holiday coverage that will be entering into our program schedule starting next week. In our edition of the Milford Informer this week, we took a look back on the Citizens for Milford holiday tree lighting, the Temple Beth Shalom menorah lighting, and the Milford Regional Medical Center Tree of Life event. We also have coverage of the Milford Santa Parade that has been streaming on YouTube. We'll get that up on air as well. The Claflin Holiday Pops will be entering into our program schedule in the days ahead, as will the Greater Milford Community Chorus Holiday Concert. And I believe about 8 different Milford Public Schools holiday concerts as well, so keep an eye out for all of those events coming up. Again, we'll start to get those scheduled early next week, running throughout the holidays on our Milford TV educational channel, our public channel, our high definition channel, and streaming on our YouTube channel. Free throws coming up for Dante Monesteem. able to go 2 for 2. And again, the lead for Attleboro is 9. The shot clock is now turned off, so coming down to the final plays. Free throws coming up for Andrew Rivera. Rivera comes into the season with over 500 points scored for his varsity career. So certainly on a pace that could perhaps put him in line for a spot on Milford's 1,000-point scorers banner when his varsity career comes to an end. Still 2 more seasons to go. Able to knock down a pair of free throws. So over 20 points on the night for Rivera. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Milford committing the foul. That was Testa. And so he will foul out here with 18.8 seconds to go, sending LaDainian Rodriguez to the line. A lot of looks from the free throw line tonight for LaDainian Rodriguez. Going 8 of 13. Now here's Araujo. He banks one in off the glass. That gets the fans cheering as Nick gets on the score sheet here with 9.1 seconds to go. Another timeout taken. It's a 2-possession game at 60-54. But time just not on Milford's side. Perhaps one last performance from the Scarlet Hawks cheerleaders before we wind things down. Again, we've had a great live audience for this coverage tonight. We thank everyone for checking out the coverage here. We've got plenty more coming up in this long winter season. In particular, once we get back after the holidays. We'll have no coverage during the holidays. We'll be shut down until January 2nd. Real work for this winter season will begin, so we hope you'll stick with us throughout this winter season as we'll have a whole lot of boys and girls basketball coverage. We'll try to sneak in as many wrestling meets as we can as well. And meanwhile, right back into another timeout. We will take the timeout here on the broadcast. We'll close things out when we come back after this. Stay with us here on Milford TV. a choppy finish to what was an otherwise entertaining ball game between these two schools, and close scores at the close of each quarter. Attleboro had a 16-13 lead after one. There's a 5-point Attleboro lead at the break, up 29-24. Then a surge for Milford in the third quarter. They scored 19 points to pull ahead 43-39. Meanwhile, 20-plus points scored. 22 points scored for Attleboro in this fourth quarter. And Rivera tosses in a three to cut it to a close margin here at the end. But it is not enough as Attleboro closes out this game strong. And they go on to defeat Milford by a final score of 61-57. So again, a good game, a bit of a disappointing finish. And so 61-57, the final score. With the loss, Milford falls to 500 now on this young season at 1-1. And Attleboro picks up their first victory of the year. They improve to 1-1. And so again, our next live coverage here on Milford TV will come your way on Wednesday, December 20th. One last game before we reach the holidays, and it will be the girls basketball team here at home taking on Sharon. We'll have the live coverage starting at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, so we hope you will join us for that game again coming up on Wednesday the 20th. But that's going to wrap things up for the coverage here tonight. A big thank you to Milford TV intern Jack Ricca for helping out on the camera coverage. And I am Tim Coette. That final score one final time. Attleboro defeats Milford by a final score of 61-57. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.